What's up, narrative breakers? The LeBron James has broke his silence about the NBA's failing metrics. And I'll tell you what's really going on. The NBA killed their own entire brand by embracing politics a little bit too hard, a little bit too fast, and nobody and their moms asked for it. They did it to themselves. We're going to find out when it started, and why it's ending right here, right now.
We got to do something. Obviously, the last couple of years have not been a great All-Star game that Sunday night. But I mean, listen, it's a bigger conversation. It's not just the All-Star game. It's our game in general. Our game is it's a lot of fucking threes being shot.
I'll tell you what, LeBron does look kind of frustrated right here. And of course, the profanity kind of helped me get to that conclusion, if you didn't guess. But I'll tell you what, it isn't frustration from the words coming out of his mouth, because as you guys might know, if you know anything about LeBron James, you got to take what comes out his mouth with a grain of salt. Because the dude's voice, his words, his entire messaging, his essence, is sold to the highest bidder. He's not really that much of a honest individual. I don't think I'm out here reaching by saying that. LeBron James isn't the most trustworthy person. But he is definitely frustrated. He's frustrated with the downfall of the NBA. Now, someone like LeBron James, who appears to be on his way out, he has a passion for the game, and he's watched it become destroyed. Now, why is it important that LeBron James is speaking out, and why is it important that he isn't saying the truth? Because it's LeBron James. LeBron James is the most politically correct player in the NBA. People like LeBron James are the exact reason why the NBA died. So can you actually sit there and expect, honestly, for someone that destroyed something to sit there and admit to their successful destruction? No, I can't expect that from anyone, especially not LeBron James. No. Not Mr. One-Page LeBron. Not at all. Could not expect that. But it's people because of him. It's because of the constant kneeling. It's because of the constant race baiting when we want to see people dribble. Hey, mainly, most of this started with LeBron. The entire shut up and dribble situation, all of this stuff kind of really started with him. And he knows he takes responsibility for it. He knows it. He wants to blame it on, the threes. It's more than the threes. They're tired of the 1, 2, 3 propaganda that they keep hitting everyone with. Oh, yeah, we might enjoy seeing people dunk. We might enjoy the rivalries. We might enjoy the points being put on board. But at the end of the day, what we enjoy, if you listen to these themes, is basketball, being basketball. We don't need you to be a politician. And bringing politics to the NBA has killed the NBA. By the time you finish this video, I don't think it's possible for anyone to disagree with me on this.
So it's a bigger conversation just the All-Star game. I can't do that today. Not in Sacramento. I love you guys, but you can't give you this conversation today. It's just a bigger conversation.
I think whoever wins the NBA title should be remembered.
Wow. How do powerful people get a pass from the media? Simple. By being woke. The NBA painted Black Lives Matter on its courts. It allows its players to kneel for the national anthem, giving the finger to the country that made the sport possible. Burgess Owens never kneeled when he was a professional athlete. He joins us tonight to respond to all of it.
And this, of course, is the era during the kneeling. These things kill the NBA. Listen. I love video games. But I want things to be separate. I'm saying this because I don't want to see Donald Trump in my video game. I love Trump. But I love him for who he is, being a politician. I'm not here to see a Donald Trump Fortnite collaboration. I want things to be separate, man, because that's what separate medias are for. Not everything belongs together. You know, I want to turn my brain off sometimes. If I want to see a man dunk, I want to see a man dunk. But I tell you what, if I do politics on the day-to-day, and it's my career, and it's something I have to do all the time, I'm not going to want to go turn on the television and be reminded of work. I don't want to be reminded of politics. And they are forcing this stuff on people. People don't like being forced anything, and especially not Americans, the most revolutionary people on the entire globe. They don't want to be forced anything. You're shoving it down their throat. You're shoving down social justice warrior messages. People are going to spit it out.
Mr. Owens, thanks so much for coming on. So what do you make of it? A basketball league that has taken an explicit and partisan political position.
So he's pathetic. He's small. He's a whiner. We all know that. But you wouldn't have him babysit your kids. You wouldn't hire him.
And Greg Popovich, which is one of the greatest coaches of all time, whether you like him or not, he is that. It pains me to say this because this old man has clearly lost his mind with age. He goes on a belligerent rant against Donald Trump and pretty much everything conservatism about 4 or 5 days ago. And not just the fact that he went on a rant, he does so on the NBA network. These are the things people don't want to see. When you turn on the TV and you see a coach go on what appears to be a personal rant and a vendetta against a politician, you start to wonder, has the sport I know and love lost its way? When you start questioning the authenticity of something that you loved, from being broken by what has completely shifted, most people, they just turn it off and tune right out. And that's what we're seeing. People tuning out. They say, hey, this ain't what I used to like. I don't enjoy this content no more. So I'm not going to watch this content anymore. Nobody wants to see Greg Popovich moaning and groaning like an old man about politics when he's supposed to be telling us who on his team is going to be the next Michael Jordan, who's going to be the next LeBron. We're not here for anything else, bro.
If you had a small business, you want that man in your business? There's no way. But you're going to vote for him for president? Because he's strong? I mean, Kamala Harris whipped his ass in the debate. Just obviously. And he's run ever since. He doesn't want any part of her. Because, as she said before, she's eaten many of his type for lunch.
Mind you, he whooped her ass.
As an attorney general, as a prosecutor, he's a small fry compared to some of the people she's gone after. And he knows it. So all he can do is cut people down, and do what he does. We've all seen all that kind of stuff. The ones that you can be even more angry about, because he's sick. He's a damaged man. He grew up the biggest wannabe there ever was in New York, right? We all know that. He wanted to be in the inner circle, but they laughed at him his whole life. Just like Obama made fun of him at that dinner, and he was about to melt. It angered him so bad.
The old head, oh man, it's breaking my heart to see this old man go out the way he is. Trump is successful AF, has been successful AF. Which part of the establishment didn't want him when they gave him movie roles, gave him awards, gave him invitations to the greatest parties, and constantly, time and time again, used his likeness? Listen, used his likeness to help their ratings on their shows, inviting him to roast. I'm trying to figure out where Donald Trump was alienated at. I know when he chose to walk down those elevators. Old heads like this had to start creating BS-ass narratives. I'm sorry, guys. Excuse my language. Creating these BS narratives to try to make it make sense. He's been loved. You don't like him. We liked him. The only people that switched on Trump are these liberals.
It was scary. But he was never accepted. He was treated like a fool, like a clown. And now he's able to just give the finger to the world because of his position now. And that's what he's doing. He's getting back at everybody because he's so small, he's got to go after everybody, just like we all know the generals and Mike Pence and all that. We've all heard that before. But those people around him, the Grahams, the Cruzes, the Hawleys, the Meadows, McCarthy, McConnell, all those guys, all older white men, which so happens.
I'm trying to figure out where all these people are around Trump. A lot of people have turned their backs on Big Trump.
They know he's an ass. They said it. I'm not saying that I think they think that. They've told us that ever since, 2015, 16, all that kind of thing. I mean, they've called him a xenophobic, a religious bigot, a racist, unfit for office, on and on and on. Their words. But they're right there with him. Do they not know that they have children and grandchildren probably that are going to lose freedom if this guy is elected? I'm not talking about a policy. I'm talking about the idea of our country.
I feel like so much has happened over the course of last year, from when I started my last college season and not knowing if that would actually be my last season, whether I was deciding to come back to college or turn pro, and now.
Now, those of you that are politically inclined in what's going on, you might understand why I'm choosing this video next. Caitlyn Clark is someone that has submitted to the woke agenda. She is blaming white privilege on her success. Or let me not be disingenuous, attributing to her success, which has led to some understandable backlash, because it's like, man, Caitlyn, it appears that you've submitted to the same systems that was trying to take you the hell out. And yeah, people are somewhat disappointed. Guess what? BS like this is why people are already tuning out the WNBA. People were tired of the victimhood mentality that a lot of these WNBA players was having now that they had this newfound fame. And now you got Caitlyn Clark come with this. Thousands and thousands of people sit there not going to watch it again. And if people are ready to already tune back out of the WNBA because of something as small as this, it tells you, at least it gives you a sample size of how tired people are of this in the NBA itself. Sitting here like I'm done with my first professional season and so much has happened, and whether it was, making the national championship game or getting the Fever back to the playoffs since 2016, there's just a lot to be proud of, and it all happened so fast, like it's hard to appreciate in the moment and kind of understand in the moment, but it's been fun to reflect on. I'm definitely more aware of signs than people think I am, and I think it's something really cool to look around before the game and see, young girls, young boys, and the signs that they're holding. So I think for me, the coolest ones are the signs that are, I traveled this far, I got this as my birthday present, or whatever it is. Like the young girls, it's like families or parents or friends or whoever it is are spending a lot of time and money to travel all this way just to have an opportunity to spend 2 hours watching me play basketball. It kind of puts everything into perspective. So I would say I really love those. Best concert, I would say Taylor Swift. And I wasn't even a Swiftie before going, but I think after seeing like the way she performs for 3 hours straight and the whole production, the outfits she wears, the way she doesn't stop singing, dancing, like it's just incredible. Like you're kind of just in awe after you leave. So maybe I am a full Swift. Yeah, she's going fuck it. Oh, so let me watch that tongue again. We have children. She has completely lost it, America. What has happened to Caitlyn Clark? I'm really starting to believe the cloning theory. Like, how could she just sit there and give it all up? And you're simping for the Swifties. Listen, Clark, I don't care if you actually like Taylor. You should have more common sense than this. Do you not know who your real audience is, Caitlyn Clark? Dude, it's literally conservatives. Why alienate? You know what? Hats off to Caitlyn Clark. Respect. Because she's not sitting here and not being something that she's not for the dollar, obviously. Or maybe she is. Maybe she's kneeling to this regime for the dollar. Who knows? But if she's truly just want to be a Swiftie, shout out to Caitlyn Clark for being honest. I mean, just the woke propaganda that she's kneeling to, now being a Swiftie, it just doesn't look organic to me. Or maybe I don't want it to be. I guess. If I had to pick any outfit that I've worn over the last year, I'd probably pick my draft outfit. That was one we found a day before the draft, and it was like, ugh. They actually didn't, I'm pretty sure they didn't have that set, the jacket and the skirt in the United States anywhere else. So we're like, obviously we have to wear this. And then Prada hadn't dressed anybody, men or women, for the WNBA or NBA. So it was like pretty exciting. What's happened? I'm showing this right here in pause. Pause for that. No Diddy. He's talking about him coming to bust you. That's not good for anyone, especially Magic Johnson, to have that come out of his mouth. I'll tell you why. I mean, I don't have to tell you why. But I find it interesting that you got Magic Johnson, LeBron James, two individuals talking about what's really killing the NBA. And this just came out, I believe, today or yesterday. Well, Magic Johnson, I remember distinctly your big ass getting on stage simping for Kamala Harris with Stephen Curry and Steve Kerr. Bro, you're the reason why he's dying, and you know this stuff. These people know it, but they have to make up this BS ass excuses to claim it for something. Listen, the culture is dying because a new culture is being born from its ashes, and that's conservatism. That liberal propaganda is dying, and you can see it in other places outside the NBA. You see it in CNN, and hell, we just seen it in the polls because we won. There is a shift. Everything woke will die in 2020.
Cookie and I supported her.
But his big ass want to sit there in front of Paul Pierce them and act surprised why the NBA dying. All right. Yeah, all right, bro.
Run for Attorney General back in the state of California. Her run for senator. And now we support her as a VP. But now the biggest moment for all of us. November the 5th, we have to do all we can to elect Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States. She wants to build up the middle class, and I know something about the middle class because I come from a middle class family. My father worked 30 years for Fisher Body.
This is literally why people don't want the NBA mixed with politics.
When I turned pro, I thought that was going to be the greatest moment in my father's life, but it wasn't. The greatest moment in his life came when he finally owned his own home. What does Kamala Harris wants to do as president? Put millions of Americans in their own home, give them $25,000 to start them off to be homeowners. That's very important. Then she wants to also have more small business owners. And she's going to help them out by giving them $50,000 for startup new small business owners, tax deduction. She's smart, she's strong, she's passionate. Nobody's gonna outwork her. She's committed to you as the people of the United States, the people of Michigan. She's committed to you. She's going to be a president for everybody. And the one thing she's going to do is finally unite us, bring us together. That other party is trying to tear us down.
Obviously, endorsing Kamala is important for me, for my family.
Why? What are the issues you care about most?
Say what?
What are the issues you care about?
I just know from especially women's rights and thinking about, what's at stake with this election and understanding like we need to be in a position where women have the right to choose what's right for them. And that's at the top of the list for me. I have amazing women in my life who've, been a huge inspiration to me. But knowing Kamala and having been around her, and I understand she's qualified for this job. She's, I think, representing what it means to be a great leader. And
nobody wants to see this stuff, man. Nobody wants to see this stuff, man. You got the greatest shooter and the overall greatest player, LeBron James and Steph Curry, that was simping for Kamala Harris. Nobody wants to see them simp for Trump. Nobody wants to see them simp for Kamala Harris. Nobody wants to see this stuff, man. And I mean nobody. So it completely destroys the NBA when you know that they are allowing that their players to be pushing this BS.
A human being in terms of representing our country the right way. So it's an easy choice for me, but to be able to have be in a situation where you can be a part of the DNC, do a video like that, let people know where I feel like, but foster positive conversations, through it all. I think that's what our country needs.
In the words of the great Steph Curry,
yeah,
we can tell Donald Trump, night, night. Thank you.
And it's the corniness as well. We're tired of corny stuff. We're tired of "We Are the World," Michael Jackson ass songs. We don't want to see this stuff no more, man. It's 2024, soon to be 2025. We don't want to see this stuff no more. Stop the corniness. Like, seriously. If not, give me something for the cringe and let me die. I can't keep watching this stuff, man. We want real America. We want you guys to stay in your lane. We want you to play your real positions. Guarding people. Playing offense. Not playing politician. It was a long time coming for the NBA ratings to fall. Oh, my God. What a dumb era we used to live in, bro. That was such a stupid era, was it not? I'm super happy this shit is done. Holy God, that was a horrible era. Listen, nobody should question why the NBA is dying. They did it to themselves. And it was a slow death. And hopefully through the death of the NBA, all of the media can learn that it's time to make a shift in the right direction. Please like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay updated. Thank you guys for your constant support.